Welcome to the Vigilate Dialogues. I'm your host, Shaina Smith, welcoming you to a special episode that we're doing on culture and Virgin Islands history. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing my grandmother, Mrs. Olive Callwood Smith, and she'll be telling us about VI history and culture as she knows it. Granny, thanks for being on the Vigilate Dialogues.
You're welcome.
So, there's so much in terms of, what you've seen over the years growing up. So let's start with, letting persons know who you are and, talk about your days in the Virgin Islands.
I am Olive Callwood Smith from King Garden Bay. I'm from the Callwood Distillery.
Mm-hmm. So you grew up around the distillery?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't walk around it.
Okay.
I was living there, on the estate. So the little that I know about it is, it was a very hard time.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say still it wasn't so hard because we could find food to eat.
Mm-hmm.
You go, you walk your ground, you have your goats, you have your sheep, you have your pigs, and you could sell and buy what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say it wasn't so bad.
Okay.
Well, and I was living with my father, Antonio Callwood, and I didn't have it bad because I didn't know anything about picking wood and going to well for water, and all those things. I didn't know anything about those things. I grew up in the house and I cook and I wash and I clean, and that was my kind of work.
Okay.
So I didn't had it too bad. Well, on cooking part, I didn't have to cook on coal pot either.
Okay.
Because my father was a very intelligent man, and he could do a lot of things. So he had a stove that he did buy from St. Thomas, and for three burner stove with kerosene oil.
Mm-hmm.
And it had an oven for the top, so we could cook and we could bake. And that's the kind of life that I had.
Okay, so what kind of foods and dishes did you cook?
Well, the food was fish, goat meat, and beef.
Okay. So we didn't used to eat the chicken that we had in the yard?
Oh, yes, we used to eat the chicken too. The chickens were the Sunday lunch.
Okay.
Chicken was the Sunday lunch. And we do some peas and rice and vegetables, and you're good to go.
So in terms of baking, what do you bake?
Well, we used to bake bread, tart, cake, and all those kind of things.
Okay. So growing up, Granny, I know you're doing a lot of baking and candies. So were those all those things you learned when it is you were growing up?
Yes.
Okay. So who taught you to do like peppermint candies and the fudge?
Well, my stepmother used to make them.
Okay.
So that's how I learned to do them.
Okay. And then we had an interesting story you were telling me the other day about starching of the clothes. So talk to us about that. Explain how creative we got when it came to doing our dry cleaning and laundry.
Yes, I used to do the washing too. So my father did like how I used to iron his clothes. When you wash the clothes and you boil the starch to put the clothes in, you drop a little drop of kerosene oil in the water, and you store in your starch, and then you throw the starch in the water, and then you start to starch and ruffle it up in the water. You bring it out, you put it on the line to dry. So when they dry now, and you fold them up and you put them down, and you're ready to iron. You sprinkle your clothes, and then you wrap them up in a big towel, and you leave them there for about 10-15 minutes, and you're ready to iron. You go and you iron your clothes.
Okay.
So when you're done iron those clothes, like his pants and his white shirt that he had to wear out, you put them on a hanger and you hang them up in the sun. And the sun hit them, they shine. So when my father could tell when my stepmother ironed the clothes from when I ironed them. So he used to tell her, don't iron his clothes, what he have to wear out. I have to iron them. So when his brothers see him now dressed and he gone, they ask him, Tonya, who to iron your clothes? He said, my son, shut your mouth. I got my daughter up there. She could do one and everything.
So he was looking sharp when he went out.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. When he ride that horse through tongue and he go out, everybody watching his clothes want to know, well, who does iron his clothes?
So what kind of iron did you use?
A goose.
The goose.
A cold goose.
So this is the one where you used to have to put the coal inside of it.
Yeah, you catch up your fire in the coal pot, and then you take the coal and you put it in the goose. You see?
Okay, and that's where we got the heat from. Okay, all right. So after growing up in King Island Bay, you got married and you came to West End. So, and you've been in West End how long now? A long time, like about 80 years. About 80 years now. So you've seen all the development around. What are some of the major things that that you've seen change in the BVI over these last many decades?
Well, I would say it have a lot of changes because we didn't have cistern to catch water. In a sense, I would say we didn't have cistern because the poor people didn't have a cistern, but we had a cistern.
Okay.
And so that's why I didn't went nowhere for no water.
Okay.
You see, we had a cistern, and you know, everything changed up a lot. About going behind the goats and the cows and the whatever else. The children of today, they know nothing about that.
I barely catch a tip. So we had animals. I know grandfather used to have a lot of animals.
Yes.
What kind of animals did he have?
We had cows, sheep, and goats.
Okay. And he also used to go fishing? Okay.
Yes.
So did we have a ground, or we didn't grow any food?
I had a ground.
Okay.
Because when I go home to on the estate to look for fruits and things, whatever I find I bring home to plant, and you know, and so I had a ground.
Okay. Okay. So basically we read everything that we had to eat. Okay.
We had our own fresh meat. We didn't buy meat from nobody. You know, the Christmas time you kill a goat. The August time you kill a goat.
Okay.
Either goat or sheep, whichever one. And you always had fresh meat to eat.
Okay. Okay. So, did you go to school growing up? Did they have schools back then? Okay, so describe how that was.
The schools were in the churches because the government didn't have no school. So the schools used to be in the churches. And you go to school till you reach the 5th grade.
Okay.
And you're in 5th grade and you make 15 years, you have to leave school. You see? You didn't have no colleges and nothing else.
Or the high school at that time. Okay. So when you left school, then persons would do what? They go to work. What type of work would they do?
Just the housework. I didn't work for nobody.
Okay. But what did other people do when they left school?
Some of them went to St. Thomas.
Okay. Okay. To look for work down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because at the time, the people had come into St. Thomas and had a lot of work down there. So a lot of Tatola people went down there to St. Thomas. Some went straight and some went through the window.
Through the window. So we hear a lot about that sometimes in the stories about the window. You just mentioned that the churches were the ones that had the schools, or they're the ones that educated us. How important was church in the life of our community?
Church were in the Sundays. So Friday, you don't have no school Saturday. So Friday, you have to sweep up the church and you have to fix it for Sunday. You know? All the books and the Bible and everything we had to put aside. And when Friday now, we have to put them back in place again, so that when Sunday comes and the ministers or the preachers come to preach, they have the things there.
Okay.
They didn't have no trouble to look for them.
Okay. So how important was church? Did everybody have to go to church on Sundays?
Well, I don't think everybody had to go, because there was some that didn't go. Others went to church, but some didn't go.
Okay. And I think we're celebrating now harvest. How was harvest time back then?
Harvest time used to be in June, July, August, when the fruits are in.
Okay.
You know, and everybody, they practice the children to recite and sing, and the choir, and when time church out, we go home, and there 2 o'clock is the harvest. So you go back to the church now, and you have your harvest, because the children reciting and singing and the choir there and everything. Everything used to be good. So when the harvest is, you match up with your fruits or your bread, your cakes and your tarts, whatever you could make, you match up with them. And it used to have so much provision, bananas and cane and potatoes and you name it. It used to have fruits and provision. That the boat, a sailing boat, used to go St. Thomas Monday morning with the things to sell down there.
Oh, really?
No,
so
yes,
it was so
because
much.
everybody have the same thing, so nobody ain't buying nothing. So Monday morning, they call in either the Dixie or the Constellation, and either one of them, and they gone St. Thomas with this load of food to sell.
Okay. So, and I know I've heard stories about us doing that. We used to send a lot of provision as well as animal stock
Oh yeah,
to St.
the
Thomas.
very foul eggs. You tie up the chicken from the wing flapping, and you put them on the boat, they gone St. Thomas to sell. And the market people there on the Tatola wharf waiting patiently because the Tatola boat coming in.
So that's where the name Tatola Wharf comes from even
Yes,
today? Okay.
yes.
Okay. Because I often wondered about that, and then I learned that was a reason. Because when we sent down, whether it was livestock provision, baked goods, everything, charcoal.
Yes, everything, whatever you could find to sell, used to go down to St. Thomas.
Okay. So we had people down there that would receive the stuff and then sell them.
Yes, they buy and they sell.
Okay. Okay. So that's another thing as well in terms of the boats. What are some of the boats that used to be around? You remember the names of them?
I remember the Dixie. The Dixie was the Callwood one. And the peas wine, not wine. The Mystery, too, was the Callwood.
Okay.
The Consolation, the Guyana. The other one, can't remember the name of the other one.
Okay. But those were boats that were around that used to move around passengers as well as goods.
Yeah, the people had these boats.
Okay.
You know, and people used to go, you go in St. Thomas, you go and you tell them, well, I want to go down when you go, you tell me what day you're going and you get ready, women and men and children, everybody on the sailing boat.
Okay. So when did we go down to St. Thomas to do?
To shop.
To shop? The same thing we still doing now. So we've been shopping in St. Thomas a long time. Okay. So what would be some of the things that we would buy down there?
Clothes.
Okay.
You buy clothes or you buy, a lot of people used to buy cloth and bring home and carry them to our seamstress and they sew them.
Okay.
To make your pants, your shorts, your dresses, everything. It had some good seamstress.
Okay. Okay. And we used to buy, well, you mentioned that, yeah.
And you buy your shoes.
Okay. And things for the house as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, your linens and whatever else, you need for the house, your dishes and so. Everything you used to go and buy.
Okay. Okay. So that's something we've been doing a while.
Yeah.
All right. So you used to go down St. Thomas to shop?
No, I used to go down the August time on vacation.
Okay. Okay, and then you would do your shopping then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Granny, tell me a little bit about bush medicine. That's something where we, growing up, I remember we really used to go to the doctor if it was for an annual checkup, and if it was, it had to be something serious. So, and I know you're one that you always, telling us about some plant to use for something. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, if you have a cold, in my day, you didn't used to go to no doctor because it ain't had no doctor. So your parents would boil bush and give you to drink. And the cold gone. You eat a lot of dry coconut and all of that help the cold off your chest. You drink the coconut oil and you're good to go. You don't have to go to no doctor. The children have fever, they boil bush, they put them in a bush bag, and back the skin, bathe the skin in the bush bag. So, we survive. We survive.
So, in terms of bush baths, what did we use bush baths for?
And like if you have pains and you can't get rid of them pains, and so they put you in a bush bath. Sometimes your body hot in you and you don't know the cause of it. All that.
Okay.
They put you in a bush bath.
A bush bath. Yeah, I remember getting bush baths like every summer. Sometimes, especially when the mosquitoes would bite us up.
Yes.
Then we'll get a bush bath.
Yeah.
So is it true that when you're boiling bush, you have to do it in odd numbers?
Yes, 7 bushes, 7 different bushes.
And that's for the bush bath, or that's also to drink?
For the bush bath and for drinking.
Okay. So what are some of the bushes that you would put in a bush bath?
Top and thyme, sauceap, guinea bush, plum, hog plum bush, a lot of bushes.
Okay.
You know? I really can't remember the bushes.
Okay.
offhand.
So, and all of these would be growing around the house.
Yeah,
So most
and
of the
then
time.
around the house, you go places where you see them, and you cut some.
Okay. And reuse them.
Yeah.
So what are some of them that you still use today?
Hmm?
What are some of the bushes that you still drink tea with today?
From salsa bush.
What's that good for? For soursop.
Salsa bush, I would say that those put you to sleep the night,
Okay.
calm your nerves. You know, at night, you know, sometimes you can't sleep good. Then you boil some salsa bush and you drink a cup of tea,
Okay.
and you go to sleep. Calm your nerves.
It relaxes you. Okay. So what else do you?
And mint, the mint bush, the rock balsam, the white wine, all those kind of bushes you boil and you make, you draw them and you make tea.
Okay. All right.
It wasn't a lot of cocoa and coffee and, you know, those things around.
Okay.
And they didn't used to give children coffee.
Okay. So it would always be bush tea.
Either cocoa or bush tea.
Okay. If you just tuned in, you're tuned in to the episode of Vigilate Dialogues. I'm your host, Shaina Smith, and with me I have my grandmother, Miss Olive Smith, and she's been talking to us about Virgin Islands history and culture over the last 90 plus years that she has been living here in the Virgin Islands. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. Welcome back. You're tuned in to the Vigilante Dialogues. I'm your host, Shaina Smith. And with me, we're talking with my grandmother, Miss Olive Smith, about Virgin Islands history and culture. And she's now going to show us some of the arts and crafts that we used to make, and she still does at her age, in her 90s. So, Granny, what's this?
Cushion.
Okay. So, how do you make this?
That's the top for the cushion.
Okay.
But you have to now sew the cushion, and then you put on this,
Okay.
and you have the pad to zip it, and that's the cushion. Full the cushion, you got to fill it up with cotton or sponge or something, you know, and you got a cushion.
Okay. So how did you make the little circles? How did they do that?
These, you just cut some round pieces of material, and then you get your needle and your thread, and you just turn under the end, and you draw the thread, and they come up like that.
Okay. So they have the little pinwheel design. Okay. And then you also been keeping yourself busy with a rug. So this is
From
the
the
back.
crocus bag.
And okay, so this is a crocus bag. So this is also made with scraps of cloth. So
Yes.
so how do we go about making this one?
Well, you cut the scraps. You cut up some cloth and make scraps, and then you have a how you would call it, something, and you push the one end in
In the back of the crocus.
the
Okay.
crocus, and you pull it out and you tie it.
Okay. Okay. So this is how we recycled when we had old clothing. This is what we did with them when we made rugs for the floor.
See how you see this here?
Okay, see the knot.
See, you pull it and the two end now, and you tie it.
Okay. Okay. And we just keep going straight through to the end. So we would make big mats for the floor
Yeah, to
in the house.
put on the side of the bed.
Okay, so these was in the bedroom. Okay, all right. So this is what we would do with old clothing or any other piece of cloth that we had.
Yes, yes.
And we would make this. I've also seen you make the quilts.
Oh,
Where
the
you would-
patchwork.
Yeah. Talk to us about that.
Yes, you cut up pieces of cloth, but it got to be, I got the cloth there.
No,
Go
yeah.
in on the chair, you're throwing them.
Okay, go ahead. We're going to get them later.
You cut up the material, and when you got a good many pieces cut up, you start to sew. You know, you're making a patchwork, you'll put black, pink, red, you know, different colors what you like. You'll put together
Okay,
and you have a patchwork.
okay. And then we would do the same thing, similar to the cushion where we have a backing on it. And then
If
they
you
have
want to put that back in.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So what other arts and crafts did you learn how to make growing up?
The fancy work and the white shirting. You do sprigs of trees, you know, the fancy work with and you whatever you choose to draw on it. You know, if you want to draw a cat on it, you'll draw it and you'll take your needle and your card, and you'll buy the different pieces of card and in patterns, you know, and you do your fancy work on it.
Okay.
And you make your tablecloth, or you make your daily for the living room table and things like that.
Okay. So we basically decorated the house with whatever it is
Yes.
material we had
Yes.
around. Okay.
Yes.
And you also do fly catchers. Okay. And we're gonna show in a little bit how basically we make the tissue paper flowers. It was something that we decorated the house with around. Christmas is coming up. Let's talk about some of the Christmas traditions. What did we do growing up as we got ready for Christmas, as Christmas came there?
Well, Christmas week, you know, you begin to make your sweet bread, your potato pudding, your tart, you bake your cassava bread, and all those goodies, you know, whatever goodies you know you could make, you do them. And then Christmas Eve night, the carolers would come out singing, and you would have your cantina bush tea, hot coffee, whatever tea they want. You offer them something to eat and something to drink.
Okay.
You have your guava berry, you have your Miss Blyden, you have your sea grapes. You know, make your drinks out of the sea grapes and out of the Miss Blyden, the guava berry, as you know. And those were the liquors that we didn't know. But now you don't see the Blyden now at all. But we have the guava berry and we still have the sea grapes.
Okay. And we also, what about in terms of Christmas decorations? I remember one Christmas we had a tree, a special tree. My uncles went up the hill to
That's
pick.
the fishing rod.
Yeah.
The fishing rod Christmas tree. We didn't know anything about no artificial Christmas tree. So everybody gone, the bushes go look, in the hillside go look for fishing rod tree. And you bring them down and you have a pan, a bucket, a kerosene pan, and you dress it up.
Okay.
You dress it up outside, you put the sand in it, and you stick your tree down in it that it can't move with stones. And you put your tree in it, you trim it up, you know? You don't leave those long stems out, you just trim it up And then you decorate it with whatever you have to decorate it with.
Okay.
I know we used to string up seashells.
Okay.
You know, we make the shack, we hang it up on it. We make the fly catchers, we hang them up on it. You know, and when you look, it's pretty. It come out so pretty.
So what did we use for lights?
Well, we had no light.
No light? Because I remember that year we had put, because it has like the prickles on it, we had used some small candles.
Candles,
Yeah.
but you know, you can't light them.
Yeah.
Yes, we used to have candles, yes, but you can't light them.
Can't light them on the tree. Okay. And then we went to church. I think it was
All Year's Night.
All Year's Night. Okay. Right.
And when you go home now, you have your big pot of callaloo.
Okay.
And whoever come, you give them a bowl of callaloo.
Okay.
And we all sit down there in a group and talk and laugh and, you know, things like that.
Okay. So for Christmas too, you do a lot of visiting,
So
going around too?
yes, and
Okay.
carry things for those that can't get out, don't have, you know, you carry things for them. Whatever you have, you carry for them.
So in terms of community, how have you seen the community change? Because that's one of the things people talk about a lot in terms of, you know, we don't visit like how we used to, or look out for each other like how we used to.
Especially Christmas time. You know, I know Cousin Addie. I know Cousin Catherine. You couldn't call nobody by their name. You had to put a handle to it. And up Johnny Hale, my grandmother had 3 brothers up there. And whatever things you bake and so, one of her daughters got to go to carry for them. You know, because they now was like getting older, and they had to go to carry things for them the Christmas. And your neighbors around, if you have a goat, kill a goat, you share it around, you give everybody a piece. And you still have peace for yourself, you know. And the neighbors used to live like brothers and sisters. If you have a match and I don't have a match to catch the fire, because I raised up with my grandmother. I didn't raise up with my father till when I was 14 years. My grandmother died, and she gave me to my father before she died. So you go, and these people used to have a big stump of wood, and they light it. And it would stay there and it would burn, and whoever ain't have a match to catch fire, you could have go there and get fire.
Okay. Wow.
Yes, you could have go there and just get some fire, and you go and you catch up your coal pot, you know. And if I get up a morning and I don't have sugar to make tea for my children, you just give a child a cup, go over, tell Cousin Addie, send some sugar here for me. When the child come back, the cup full of sugar. You know, you have sugar to make your children tea. And it's not a morning and night, you don't hear them say, well, it's night now, so we're going to sleep now. I'll see you tomorrow, God spare life. You know? They used to live good. They used to live good. And the children, you had to have manners and respect. Because if you meet me on the road, you know me, you meet me on the road doing a wrong, you hold me, you beat me, and then I go see your grandmother about you. And when that person go to you're going to get a second beating. You see? So you had to behave yourself. You know? You had to behave yourself.
Okay. So that was important. Very important.
That was important. And you couldn't pass no elderly person on the road and don't tell them good morning or good afternoon or good day. You had to. You had to because they would call you when you pass. Shaina, come here. When you come up to me now, me and you lick pepper to one saucer. That's what I used to tell you. Me and you lick pep out of one saucer. Sometimes you don't know what I mean. And you gonna pass me and ain't tell me good morning. Buy them broke a whip, them switch you behind for you. You go home, don't play like you're crying because your grandmother gonna ask you or your mother gonna ask you what happened.
Oh boy. So the village really raised the child.
Yes, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You meet two people talking on the road and you have to pass to say, excuse me, please. You know, so the children walking on you. No respect.
Yeah.
No kind of manners, no kind of respect.
So where you think things started to change?
I would say in the 30s. I would say in the 30s things started to change. Because I know why I would say so is because to grind the cane to make the rum, this mule used to have to do it. You know, they had like 3 rollers put together. It had like a little house built up over this thing, and they had it trash with cane trash, and then they have these 2 long poles also attached to the rollers there, and then so somebody used to have to feed the rollers. You on one side and I on the other. You know, I push in here, and you receive the I used to call it. You receive the cane, but it didn't have no juice in it because the juice come out.
Okay.
I forget what you call it. And you just throw them aside, you know? So the muse is what used to do the work.
Okay.
You see? And then afterward now, my father, I don't know where he did get it from, but he get an engine and he built up a stand, he put it on, and so all you had to do is put them through, and the cane juice run in the receiver.
Okay.
It had a concrete thing built up. It wasn't a concrete, it was white lime. They used to burn white lime. When you don't know nothing about white lime, but the rocks, it used to have a lot of white rocks along the shores, and you pick them up, and you build up this thing. You put like the coconut limb down, and then you build around it.
Okay.
So when it reaches a certain height, you light it, and those rocks would melt.
Okay.
You see? So they used to call it white lime.
Okay.
A lot of people used to build houses out to it.
Okay.
And so he had this receiver, a big receiver, and the cane juice would run in it. And from there, he had the pipe to run it to the building in the coppers. It was 3 coppers. And they had names, but I can't remember the names of them.
Okay.
When it reached to the last one, the first one going to receive it, and then you throw it over. They had a big label with a long
handle.
stick on it, and you will dip it up from there and throw it over, and then they light the fire underneath, and it would boil.
Boil off, okay.
You see? And that's where you get the cane, the sugar, and the rum from.
Okay. So they used to do both the cane sugar as well as the cane rum at the distillery in King Island Bay.
If you have cane, and you bring cane to the mill, and you want sugar, you'll say, well, I don't want no rum, I want sugar out of mine. See? So they would make sugar for you.
Okay.
But if you want rum, well, you'll get rum.
Okay. Okay. So then if I had basically a pasture or field of cane, then I could take it to the distillery and they would deal with it. Okay. Okay.
You just see the manager, which is my father, and he'll tell you what time to bring the cane. Because I used to get cane from Callwood and Garda.
Okay.
On the sailing boat then. Used to bring down the cane and just one day. You see? So sometimes it's so busy that I can't take your cane.
Right away.
Right away. See? So he'll tell you when to bring them, and you carry them, and he'll ask you what you want out of the cane.
Okay.
And you'll tell him. You see? If you want rum and sugar, you get rum and sugar.
Okay.
If you want pure rum, you get pure rum.
Okay. So you're saying from back in the 30s, we already started to see development.
I would say so.
You would
I
think
would
so.
say back in the 30s.
Okay. And we've basically been changing ever since. So in terms of our culture and our traditions, this is something that people often say to know that, we're losing our culture. What do you think about that? Do you think it's something that we're losing, or is it something...
We is losing it.
Why do you
We
think
is
so?
losing it because the young people ain't learning nothing. The older people, when you're going King Garden Bay, and you come up on top the hill, Windy Hill, where you call Windy Hill, and you look over Carrot Bay. It used to be a pleasure. Over there is green and luscious, pure ground. All kind of things they have over there planned. When you look over now, what you see in bush, the young people ain't working on ground. You see? Whatever you buy, you got to go to the supermarket now, go buy these half-dead things, and it ain't no good for you to eat because the chemical is what poisoning our bodies. You know?
So how do we keep whatever traditions we still have alive? What do you think we should be doing more of?
I think they need, if even the government is who runs the place, but we the people are the government, and they need to bring in people to cultivate the place.
Okay.
And so that you could have fresh food to eat. That's what my thinking is. I don't know about yours or nobody else.
But in terms of going back to agriculture,
yes,
which is one of the way of life that we used to have.
Yes, to live. Nobody in Tatula never used to buy pepper, tomato, and all of them things. Only you go out in your yard, you pick your thing, them you come in, you wash them, you throw them in your pot. And the food tastes so good. Sometimes you even eat the fish so fat that you even ain't got to put no butter in it. Now today the fish, them, I don't know what it tastes like. You know?
So in terms of food, we ate a lot healthier.
Yes, we eat a lot of fresh food. Fresh food. We eat a lot of fresh food. You know, I had some rough times, went through some operation and so on. When I came out of the hospital, before I come home, I had to go back for my checkup. So when I got back from my checkup, the doctor checked me out. He said to me, Mrs. Smith, he said, you go home and you eat just what you are accustomed to eat. Because he said, I never had a patient as strong as you yet. He said, many patients I had with this complaint, he said they died. Few live. And he said yours were bad. But he says, look at you. You look fresh and good. He said you go back home and eat just what you accustomed to eat. Because you're a strong woman. I had one right here in Roton People's Hospital. The doctor from England, Scotland, I think he said he was from, tell me the same thing.
That's when you had your appendix out?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell me the same thing. He said, you take her home, when you go home, give her a shot of brandy. Them girls, baby said, what? He said, yes, give her a shot of brandy. She's good to go.
That's good.
It's only the pain them got me hair crippling, I can't walk.
And even going to the sea, that's something
yes,
that you
going
used
to
to
the
grow up
sea,
taking
yes.
us. I remember you going to
And
the sea all the
every
time.
you go in the sea, the old people them used to tell you, go to the sea, put your hand under the water, take up a handful of water, drink 3 mouthfuls of
sea water.
Don't know why it was far, but them say it's good for
It
your
was
body.
good for you.
And you see me here, whenever I go to sea water, it's wet, I just do it. 3 mouthfuls of water, and you drink it.
Yeah, good to go. So in terms of, when we talk about the traditions, another tradition that we used to have was in terms of weddings. How weddings was a big village affair. Talk to us a little bit about that. In terms of any weddings you were a part of or experienced.
Man, I have you gonna get married. I'm gonna tell all the neighbors around because they are big family. We are family. And tell all of them. When you look, some gonna bring egg, some gonna bring butter. You make your butter from the milk, the cow milk, that fresh butter. Some gonna bring potato. Some gonna bring whatever they have, nothing buying, whatever they have. And them kerosene pan under, and them coal fire going. You have the food. And the line of baking, well, it had people who used to make cake. Yes, some of them old people used to make some rich cake, man. And you just tell them, and then come to your house and then make your cake for you. You don't have to pay a cent. Yeah, not a cent you don't have to pay. Everything was free. I would say it was free because you don't have to buy nothing. You know, today you got a wedding, you got to go to the supermarket, go buy what you want. You know? Even the bride dress, the lady, I know her, and I would say, well, my daughter getting married on such a time. I want you to make her gown. Yes, you're welcome. You bring the material, not a penny.
Okay.
That's the way the wedding them used to be. And that wedding sometimes used to go for a whole week.
That's a lot of food, Granny.
You hear what I say? Every day you get up them kerosene pan on the fire, cook and goat meat.
Food. Wow.
Cook and goat meat.
Them were the days.
Yeah, them days were good. Them days were good. We had no money, but them days was good.
We were happy. I think we could say we were happy.
Everybody lived happy as one. I don't know you, you don't know me, but you come to my door, you're welcome.
Yeah.
So must be that's the tradition I must pick up.
Yeah, you always have something for everybody. So in terms of people coming into the Virgin Islands, do you think that changed our culture
I think so. I think it changed our culture a lot.
Okay. So is it that we adopted other people's culture, or we kind of put on our own
And let these people come and take over.
and do other things? So what about festivals? How was festival when
Maybe
you were
didn't
growing
used
up?
to have festival like today with these half-naked people. We had the festival up on the old creation ground. You know where the old creation ground
The
is?
bandstand.
The bandstand. There is where it used to be. No tramping in the street. You know, everything used to be right there with the music, and you know, everybody go there, you buy food, and you have a good time walking around with your hailing your friends and your family who you even see for a long time, and things like that.
Okay. So that used to be for a whole week. How many days we used to have festival for?
I think it only used to be the August Monday.
Okay.
And then the Tuesday, it would have village people who having picnic. You hear about picnic?
Yeah, I heard about picnic.
Yeah.
So then when
Go
did
down
horse
to
racing?
Friday. And well, the horse race, I think the horse race used to be the Wednesday. Yeah, because my father had a horse used to run.
Okay. Okay.
And right there, I can get in the sand, you know.
The races used to be on the beach?
No, out inside the road, inside the bottom.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, that's what the horse race. I think it used to be the Wednesday. After the Wednesday, it was the Tuesday. Right?
Okay. All right, so we're going to take a break now, and when we come back, Granny is going to show us some of her craft that she still does at 90...
The flycatcher.
The flycatchers and the flowers? Okay. So we'll be right back after this commercial break. Welcome back. You're tuned in to the Vigilate Dialogues. I'm your host, Shaina Smith, and today we're talking about Virgin Islands history and culture. And with me, I have friend Olive, my grandmother, Miss Olive Smith, and she's now going to show us how she makes the flycatchers, which was used as decorations in our homes. Okay, Granny, go right ahead. See, if this is what type of paper? This is tissue paper, crepe paper. Okay. Okay, so you walk us through it. So you have folding over the paper in a triangle.
Now you cut from.
Okay, so we need to cut from
here.
here.
That is right back.
Okay. Okay.
You let everything be
Line up.
even.
Okay. Okay.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
Put your hand there.
Right. Okay.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So we have it now in a smaller triangle.
So, let me fix this up.
Yeah.
If you want, you could cut off that. And if you want, you could leave it.
Okay.
You see, well, one.
And we got an example.
You see, like how, you see?
Oh, so these are the ends on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's also like some marking on it.
I don't like to cut this to this because they don't quick to cut off. You see, backward and forward.
Okay. They almost go to the edge and then turn it around.
Up here at the top, so you're kind of just,
Okay.
that's where the card gonna go up.
Okay. Let me open it up.
Oh man.
Twist up.
I'm gonna get twist up sometime. Let me open it right now.
Okay.
Put your hand underneath.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
And then if you want to leave on this now, see? You open it.
So this will catch the flies for sure?
I don't know. I never see them catch no fly.
And I know we call them fly
But
catcher.
God have for fly catcher.
Yeah.
See?
Okay.
So now you get the car too, and you cut a round piece.
And that's what we put up here
Yeah.
in the top.
And put up the string to it to tie it.
Okay. So then we do different colors.
Yeah.
And we can layer it or do the same color.
Whatever color you want it go in.
Okay. Oh wow. This is amazing. Well, if you just tuned in, you missed an awesome episode of the Vigilante Dialogues where I've been here speaking with my grandmother, friend Olive Smith from Frenchman Ski. Many people will know her from her peppermint candies, and been talking about Virgin Islands history and culture, and you know, sharing her memories with us. And it's something where, Granny, I want to say thank you. From even when growing up, you used to talk to us about our history and the importance of culture. So I have been very fortunate to be able to know about our ways and our tradition, and hope to continue and pass that on to my children when they come along, to make sure that we continue the traditions for generations to come. So anything you want to share with our audience before we go?
Well, I'm not in a position of turning around to do them now, but I still does try to teach somebody to do them. You know, and but the young people don't today, they don't look to me like they don't want to do. They don't want to learn to make the candies, and so but I've tried my best.
Okay.
So these are some big ones.
Oh,
But
okay. They break.
this one was too thin. They ain't drop enough sugar in it.
Okay.
And this one, it looked like somebody break it. But this is a smaller shape,
Okay.
you know.
So these are the famous Miss Olive peppermint candies. Alright. Hi, Granny. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You've been tuned in to a lovely, fun episode of the Vigilante Dialogues. I want to thank you for joining us today, and let us continue to change the conversations and continue to have the conversations about Virgin Islands history and culture. Thank you.
You're welcome.